Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. My name is Talal, and welcome to Popcorn and Soda, the show where we discuss all things movies, pop culture, and so much more. As always, I'm going to thank each and every one of you for making moi a small part of your day. Another year has passed, and another year is upon us. I cannot wait for some of the movies that are going to be releasing this year. 2025 is going to be an amazing year for films. And that is why we're continuing our annual tradition here on the channel with my top 5 most anticipated films of 2025. 2024 was great in so many ways, so many amazing movies, but hey, now we have a whole new year with brand new movies that I am just beyond ecstatic to watch. So, why top 5? People ask me, hey, why not top 10, top 20? Heck, you can do top 50, really. I watch probably 5, 10 movies a month, right? So if you do the math, right, there's over 100 movies I'll probably watch this year. And it's very hard to kind of manage just 5 into it, but I think that just what gives this list a bit more prestige, for me at least, is why these 5 movies are the ones that are standing out. And to be honest, when the year comes to an end, I'm sure there's going to be movies that I wasn't even thinking of, that weren't even on my radar, that are going to end up being some of my favorites. But for now, start of the new year, these are the 5 that I'm most excited for. So go ahead, go grab a drink, have some popcorn maybe, come right back, and let's get started on the list. Number 5 on my most anticipated films of 2025 is Mickey 17, starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Bong Joon-ho. Alright, the reason why this is on my list is because of 2 reasons. Bong Joon-ho, Robert Pattinson. I am so excited for this film. I absolutely loved Parasite. I feel that Parasite is one of the best movies of the last 20, 30 years. That movie is so unique, and what Bong Joon-ho was able to do with the characters, with the story, it's just such an original, amazing IP. And he is now coming back from that amazing Oscar trip that he had, where he won Best Director, I believe, on Best Film and Best Foreign Film. So I just am so excited to see what he cooks up next. And not only is he cooking, he's cooking with Pattinson. Robert Pattinson can do no wrong. He is such a talented actor, and he is just one of one. He has this suave, this aura about him. He's one of the few stars where you're just so excited anytime he is announced for any movie. And the fact that we're seeing these 2 creatives in this space satire genre film, I'm so excited for that, because I love space movies, and I feel like there could be so much more that can be explored in that genre. And we're finally going to get an original story that isn't very conventional. It's not necessarily about the end of the world or something in the sense. And I'm just excited for that. So that is why Mickey 17 is number 5 on my list of my most anticipated films. Number 4 is a movie that I'm excited about. I wouldn't say this is a movie that is something that I would put number 1 or 2 on my list, but I needed to include this in my list at some point, and that is Fantastic Four. And what more appropriate than being number 4 on my 5 most anticipated films of 2025? And the reason why I'm so excited for this film is because of Kevin Feige. We're finally getting a Fantastic Four that's in the world of the MCU. And everything I've heard about this film, everything we've read up on it, everything that's been not too much released, but everything that's kind of been shared with us, is that it's set in this a retro Jetsons kind of world. So clearly it's on a different Earth. It's not on Earth 616, I believe, which is the MCU world. This is a multiverse story, clearly. And I just love the Fantastic Four characters. The original Fantastic Fours, I have a very soft spot in my heart for those 2 movies. I actually really enjoyed those movies for what they were. They were early 2000 movies with Chris Evans, Jessica Alba, and it was just a fun movie. And I feel like people kind of crap on them way too much than they should. but I enjoyed it. I really, really did. And I love Chris Evans in that movie. But now we're going to get a chance to have 4 amazing new leads. We're going to have a chance to have the MCU machine behind this story. And again, I'm so excited to see Pedro Pascal just crush it as Reed Richards. It's just an unconventional casting choice, but it works because this is its own universe. And personally, Joseph Quinn, one of my favorite actors from Stranger Things, I think he's going to do absolutely great in this movie. I'm excited to see their chemistry because they're both just in Gladiator together, which I really enjoyed. So I'm excited for Fantastic Four. But the number one reason why I'm most excited about Fantastic Four is because of Galactus, the big baddie of this world. Heck, I would say he's the biggest villain in all of MCU, even more than Thanos, but that's a story for another day. He was done wrong in the last Fantastic Four, largely from what everyone's opinion is. I personally didn't mind it. I actually kind of thought the cloud thing was kind of cool, but finally getting a chance to see Galactus full-fleshed by voiced by at least Ralph Ineson, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great, great film. And that's why I'm just so excited for this movie, because the comic book genre, I feel like since Avengers Endgame, there's really only been like one movie I've liked, and that was Spider-Man No Way Home. I feel like a lot of these movies that are coming out, they lack that heart that some of the earlier movies had. And I feel like this is going to be a return to form for Marvel. I truly do. That is why Fantastic Four is number 4 on my list of my most anticipated films. Okay, so this next movie kind of has a little asterisk beside it because it's not officially confirmed that it's coming out this year, but according to all the reports, it should be. And that is the Untitled Paul Thomas Anderson, Leonardo DiCaprio project that they've shot over this last year. 2 of my all-time favorite, if not the favorite, director and actor of all time. Leonardo DiCaprio, Paul Thomas Anderson. And the fact that they've never worked together before is wild. And this is why I'm so excited for this film. Leo, he's very selective about his projects, as is Paul Thomas Anderson. And the fact that they decided to finally come together and make a project that's going to really, really, really be something very different from everything I've read. It's just something I'm very excited for. Leo is one of the few final marquee actors that are left in the industry where he is the marquee. Him, Tom Cruise, maybe Brad Pitt. That's pretty much it. It's no longer the era of the movie star as it once was. And Paul Thomas Anderson, same thing. He is one of these marquee directors because of his amazing filmography. Like, to me, I still say Boogie Nights is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I watch that movie once every year. And Leonardo DiCaprio is he's very selective. He hasn't acted that much in the last 10 years. Like what? The Revenant, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I love. Don't Look Up, not really the biggest fan of, but I think this is going to be a return to form for King Leo DiCaprio, and I cannot wait for this movie. Again, it's not confirmed if this is coming out this year, but the fact that it potentially could, I had to put it on the list. If there was a guarantee that this was coming out this year, it would be number 1 by far, but it still makes the list. So, gone through 5 for 3. Number 2 on my list, potential controversial one, but what I am doing is I'm removing the artist from the controversy and choosing to focus on this because it's a movie based largely, I'm pretty sure, on that. And that is the Michael Jackson biopic titled Michael. Love him, hate him. Michael Jackson's probably the biggest artist of all time. His music transcends everywhere. His music is global. I personally grew up listening to Michael Jackson. I was a massive Michael Jackson fan. Again, I'm separating the artist from all of the rest. And all the rest, don't get me wrong, those things are horrific. Those things, those allegations, it's some troubling stuff. It absolutely is. But this movie is going to be something that's going to be very unique because it's literally his nephew, Jafar Jackson, who is playing Michael in this movie. And some of the set photos that were released were like, whoa, that's wild. He looks just like him. And directed by Anton Fuqua, who is a massive, massive director. I don't know how they're going to handle this movie. Is it going to be like a Bohemian Rhapsody, which I absolutely love, one of the best musical biopics ever? Is this going to gloss over the controversies? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I'm just fascinated because his music is just so good. His music is literally the soundtrack of so many people's lives. And I'm just really, really excited for this film just to see what they do with it. So that is why Michael is number 2 on my list of my most anticipated films. All right, let's do a quick recap before I get to number 1. Number 5, Mickey 17. Number 4, Fantastic Four. Number 3, Paul Thomas Anderson, Leonardo DiCaprio Untitled film. Number 2, Michael. And my most anticipated movie of 2025 is Superman. Just like everyone else who watched that first trailer, poof, I was blown away. Superman is my all-time favorite character in any medium. It's just always been my thing. While growing up watching Smallville, watching the Superman movie, Superman Returns, Henry Cavill, gosh, I'm such a big fan of Man of Steel. It's the first movie I've ever watched 2 times in the same day in a movie theater. The character of Superman is just as a character I have very near and dear to my heart, and especially Clark Kent as well. He is another character that I absolutely just love. So when they decided that we're going to finally go ahead and start a brand new cinematic universe, DCU, under James Gunn and Peter Safran, and we're going to start it off with Superman, I was very excited for it. And I was even more excited when David Cornsweet was cast as Superman. I am such a massive fan of David Cornsweet. If you don't know his past work, do yourself a favor, go watch Hollywood. It's a Netflix miniseries about the golden age of filmmaking set like in the 60s. I don't even remember what decade it was, but that's my one series I watch every single year. And David Cornsweet leads that series, and the second you see him, you're like, this guy's Superman. David Cornsweet is going to rock this movie. And not even just that. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, the surrounding characters. And this is a very unique and very different universe than the Zack Snyder universe, which I absolutely loved. But we're getting a James Gunn type movie. And I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan in terms of his movies. I really did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But his humor and his music video-esque movies sometimes aren't always for me. But I think James Gunn will do a great job at this movie because they are really pushing it out there that this is a whole new universe. And seeing the trailer, my favorite parts again were David Cornsweet, Clark Kent. I love those scenes. And just the character of Superman is so iconic. I feel like everybody on this earth knows what that S is. And I'm just so excited for this movie. I literally cannot wait. And more than anything, I just want to see David Cornsweet just rock it in this movie because I truly believe he will. And I truly believe we're going to get a Superman for a whole new generation because I think we're ready for it now. Henry Cavill, freaking love, freaking adore, my favorite Superman of all time. But I'm also really excited to see what David's going to bring to this role. So that is why Superman is my most anticipated film of 2025. There you have it, friends. That is my list of my most anticipated films of this year. Did any of my movies make your list? Please comment below and do share your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you guys have on your list. As always, I'd greatly appreciate it if you can take 1 minute out of your day to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, click that little notification bell to be caught up on all my new videos. As always, my name is Talal. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. on Popcorn and Soda.